In this video, I'm talking about the 3 key things that you need to batch film your content for YouTube. And I'm going to break them down into 3 simple steps. And if you've been following this channel for a little while, you'll know I have a whole playlist that's all about planning. At the end of this video, I will link to that playlist. And of course, the reason why I'm talking about that is because the first thing that we need to do is have a plan. Now, I don't want this to be the case that you're using planning as a way to procrastinate. Actually, you still got to do the work, right? You can't just plan forever. I've actually mentored a lot of people that have planned forever and they don't seem to ever film or edit or publish any videos at all. So it's not procrastiplanning. We actually need to go and do the work as well, but you do need some idea of what you are creating. So I've got that whole playlist all around planning, but I'm just going to break it down to you a little bit and also show you my my content planner, which you can get for free. The link is in the description if you want to grab a content planner to be able to help you with this stuff. So let's jump over to that content planner and just look at like the planning that I did in order to film these 9 videos that I've got that I'm going to be filming today and tomorrow. We'll jump over to the screen share then. So here you can see that I've got a planner. This is my video content planner, and inside this video content planner I've got a bit there. You can see that it says I'm planning. Actually, I could change this status now to filmed because I'm filming it currently, but they're all in planning mode. I've got filming dates for this planning to split them into today and tomorrow. One of them maybe I've been a bit optimistic trying to get 6 done in one day. I kind of recommend that in a weekend you could do 4. So if you're filming 1 video every week, then you can get a month's worth of content done in one single filming day if you're planning ahead of time. And that doesn't necessarily include B-roll or any of the other things that you might need to do if you're doing more than just talking head stuff. But if you're doing talking head stuff just like I'm doing right now, there's no reason why you can't get 4 done in a single day. Then I have a publishing date. So I've decided what days these are going to get published and in what order. So that's really important as well when it comes to actually doing your planning. I could sort them by that as well if I wanted to. So there we go. So I know which one's in the most important, which one's the order that I'm going to do them. And then I've got a platform in case I'm going to pick a different platform. This is all part of the content planner as well. And then I've also got pillars of content. I've not actually published the pillar of content video. I'm not sure if I will or not. Let me know if you want me to publish my content pillar video. Let me know in the comments, because I've got one that talks about the different content pillars, but I feel like this is so obvious that I don't need to create a video about it. But I have created one, but I'm not sure if I should publish it. And then I've got a project idea as well. This just helps me in terms of my systems and processes, which I will talk about in a second, and it'll make more sense why I've got that. But this is my plan, and then what I do is I go inside my plan, and if I take a look at this one, the best camera for YouTube right now, as part of my planning I was doing some keyword research. So I was looking at the volume of people that are searching for some of these keywords and for my titles for my video. I've also got a link to the affiliate link for the camera that I'm using, which is the Osmo Pocket 3. I'm actually using that as a webcam right now, and it's the creator combo link. Show the camera, talk about it, and blah blah blah. So made some sort of bullet point notes here. You can do a full script if you want. I don't necessarily feel like a full script is necessary. Really what I want to do is just have bullet points and make sure that I can wax lyrical about that stuff. Some people want to make sure every single I'm just going to jump back here, because one of the things that I've got here is in my list is setup. It's the thing we're going to talk about next. My light just went out because the battery had run out. So when I talk about setup, you'll see why it's so important that you check all of the things that you're doing for setup that stops you getting sideswiped by not being so prepared ahead of time. But I'll come back to setup after we finish this. So as I mentioned, some people want it to be picture perfect. They want it, word for word. They want everything prepped. For me, I don't need that. So I just kind of give myself an idea and understand exactly what it is that I'm talking about. I also have things like lead magnets. So like the content planner, I have a downloadable for most of my videos. So hey, go and get it in the description, because I want people to go and take that action, right? Take that action or do the next thing. It might be that I just say, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell and all that kind of stuff. But it could also be some of the other prep that you do around that video. You can see that I've got my affiliate links, and you might add those things into the planner as well. So you've got to have an idea, you've got to have a plan, you've got to have some kind of script or some kind of idea of what you're going to talk about. They're so important. If you don't have that stuff ahead of time, what happens is you get to the day of filming and you spend all your time planning, and actually you don't get any filming done. So I don't want that to happen for you. So tip number one, or part one of this whole process, is making sure that you've got a plan in place. Let's move to number two then, which is of course the setup. Now I have just brought up the fact that in this setup piece, I want to make sure that you've got all your equipment charged, right? My Osmo Pocket I can see is on 100%. I can see my light is now charging. I have a little battery pack. Always have spares like this. I've got a battery pack that's plugged into my light that is charging it right now, so that will just keep it charged. Obviously, I'd like to have it powered by the mains. The plug sockets are a little bit far away from me at the moment. I'm in a different environment today. I'm not in my office, so I'm a little bit concerned because I've got a really bright light there that's too bright. I can see I'm overexposed a little bit. But I wanted to change things up in my YouTube videos, so I didn't want to have the same environment. I could have spent more time prepping the second environment. This is a bit more of a mobile, a bit more of a dirty environment in terms of it's not a studio setup. But having different environments like this is really important as well for your content. Like, one thing I talk to people about is having a standard studio-based setup. If you can have an office at home, right? My office used to be my kids' playroom. My kids are a bit older now. And in the UK, it's what we call a box room. It's 8 foot by 9 foot, which is about almost 3 meters squared. So it's a really tiny room. That's where I do most of my videos. And inside that office, I have a couple of nice lights. I have my camera set up. I have 2 screens for my monitor. I have a Mac Mini in there. And it's permanently set up, ready for me to hit record. So I can go in there, hit record, turn my lights on. I have a button to press to turn my lights on. I can hit record and away I go. That's a permanent setup. But if you can't have a permanent setup like this, then something like this Osmo Pocket 3 that I've got in front of me here, I don't want to use the webcam. Look at the difference in the quality of the webcam. Can I bring them together? I think you can see here that there's a big difference. Of course, I'm looking down at my webcam when I'm using my Mac. I much prefer the Osmo Pocket. It's actually it gives me a wider range of view as well. You know, you can see that. Even though I would have loved to have sorted this lighting out, there's definitely a better version of this lighting. I'm definitely overexposed here. Look, but it doesn't matter. What I'm encouraging you to do is have a mobile version of this setup as well. The Osmo Pocket 3 is a great example of that to use. It means I can pretty much move anywhere around my house. It is truly mobile. I can pick it up here, and I've got a truly mobile setup. Maybe this is better and less overexposed. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to put it back where it was for now. Making sure you've got a microphone that works, where the sound is good. Making sure you've tested the video. So you've hit record and tested to see if you can hear yourself. I do that every single time. I'll hit record. I'll record myself for 10 seconds, just say the words test or something like that, and I'll listen to it back. Is there anything interfering with the audio? There's nothing worse than recording a 10-20 minute video and then realizing that the audio's bad because something was interfering with the audio, or maybe even that you've not even got the audio on, you forgot to turn the mic on or take it off mute or whatever it may be. So ensuring that the setup of what you've got is in place and that it's easy for you and there's no pressure. The amount of people that I meet that they spend so much time setting up the gear in order to film the videos, by the time they're finished, they're so low energy, they don't want to film anymore because the gear and the stress and all of the stuff around setting up is just taking the energy out of them. And you want to be in the best energy. We want to be in good energy when you're filming these videos. You don't want to be upset, depressed, angry, annoyed, all of the things that come with setting up environments every single time. So where possible, if you can have an office setup, great. If not, have a mobile setup somewhere where you're happy to film in a different environment, or indeed using your mobile phone, having somewhere where you can be hands-free and being able to set that up as another environment as well. I suggest for most people that they have 2 to 3 different places where they're happy to go and film. If you've got 2 to 3 places, then it gives you a bit of variety, and it's then dead easy for you to go and set up and film these videos. Okay, so number 2, the second thing that you need if you want to batch film content is a permanent or a standardized setup when it comes to filming your videos. And then finally, number 3, when it comes to batch filming, is a system and a process. Now, if you're going to batch film content, you need to have a system of what you do with that content once you've filmed it. I'm going to show you what my batch filming process looks like. It's going to align to my content planner. You see why the content planner is so important and so key to this batch filming process. All right, let's just jump over to the planner again now. So the thing I want you to look out for in terms of this planner is this ID number. So my ID number is made up of, where are we for this one? So we're doing fast filming workflow, this one here. It's YT013, which it's video number 13 in the YouTube videos that I've created. So it's good to have a running order, because you know straight away when you've got that running order of numbers how many videos you've made. Like, it's a really good way to do that. And then the second thing is the date. So I've got 2025, August 08, and then 13. So this is my publishing date, actually. You could do it as the filming date if you wanted to. But for me, I prefer publishing date. It means I'm being intentional every time when I'm doing this stuff. I'm intending on publishing it on the 13th. Hopefully when you're watching this video, it is the 13th of August, and you'll be able to watch this video in full. But the story doesn't end there. If I go over to my OneDrive here, so this is a bit like Dropbox. If anyone uses Microsoft, you'll have OneDrive. So I've got OneDrive here, which is where all of my content is. I've got a folder here called YT013, and then the date, just as you saw in the ID that I've got there, and then just a reminder of what the video title is. The title might change, often it does, but it just lets me know that even if I just look at the idea, I kind of know what that video is about, so I can go and check it out, even though all the details are in this content planner as well. And then when I go in there, what I'll often have, if I take a look at one of my older ones, I'll have the project where I was editing the video, the actual video itself, the filming video, and then the thumbnail as well. So everything is kept together inside that ID and that project. If I was working with an external agency, an external video editor or something like that, then I could easily give them access to this one folder with that footage and the project and everything else, and they could work on it inside of that project without touching anything else, and then they could, put the export in there as well. I happen to stick the exports in a different folder, which I'm kind of changing my mind to how that might look, but I'll talk about that in a different video. For now, I'm quite happy with this general process that I've got for this at the moment. So again, if we go back to 13, here it is. The files will live in here. And then the other thing I do is I go to my thumbnails here, and I just put the ID on the thumbnails as well. And look, what this is giving me is a consistent ID across all of the assets related to this project. That means it's really easy if I'm searching for stuff. If I search my computer, if I search Canva, if I search my projects, as long as I've got that ID number, then I can search and find the content that I'm looking for. And I'll tell you, this is how agencies run their projects. You have an ID, you might have a customer or client field for that as well, but I don't need that right now. But in terms of managing the projects, that's how you need to manage the projects. It's so hard to find the content if you don't have this consistent approach. And I promise you, when you get to 100 videos or when you get to 500 videos, having these ID numbers and having a way to store all of this stuff is really super important. So that's the process in terms of planning and storage and that kind of thing. And then the next part of the process is how you transfer your footage to your computer, how you set it up in the editing suite, how you export it and that kind of thing. I'm not going to cover that in this video. I just wanted you to know that that's part of the process as well. I'm going to talk about my workflow definitely in more detail in other videos. But they're the 3 parts to this process that make batch filming super simple and make it something that every single person can do if you've got those 3 things in place. If you miss any of those 3 things, batch filming will be difficult for you. Now, the question I've got to ask you at this point, let me know in the comments if any of this was helpful to you. Let me know which part filled a gap in. If you've sat and watched through this whole video and you're like, Matt, that's exactly what I do, then let me know that you are bang on the money. But I want to hear from you. So don't sit in silence. Make sure you drop me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. My name's Matt Hughes, King of Video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. And don't forget to grab your content planner in the description and click on one of the videos that's on the screen right now. See you next time.